So you get your lawn looking great and you think you're doing a great job during the season, and then out of nowhere, you notice unsightly hills and tunnels throughout your lawn. I can tell you from personal experience, I've been there, and seeing that destruction on your lawn after all the work you put in is extremely frustrating. Now, given my own personal experience with moles in the past, destroying my backyard, I've done a good amount of research and had some trial and error experience and I found a good way to have success with keeping them at bay as much as possible. Now, to learn about how I reduce the mole activity in my backyard, stay tuned. Now, for several years, this back lawn that I'm standing in right now that's behind my pine trees has been a real problem area for me. It's shaded a majority of the time from all the tree cover we have back here, and in the fall it rains walnuts from the neighbor's walnut tree. But most frustrating of all, in mid to late summer, the moles start to burrow over from my neighbor's lawn and start destroying the backyard back here. Now, I want to give just a quick disclaimer. There's no quick fix or permanent solution for moles that I've found in the lawn. Like taking care of your lawn, this is going to be a constant work in process, so keep your expectations realistic. Now let's take a second to clear up the difference between moles and voles. Now, voles are little rodents, almost looking like a mouse, I would say. They're vegetarians. Think V for voles, vegetarians, to remember that. They love to eat roots, bulbs, seeds, plant foliage, and more. And they typically tunnel on the surface of the lawn and create small runways that are most noticeable in the early spring. On the other hand, moles have a pointed snout and large paws that they use to dig through and destroy your lawn. They are meat eaters. They feast on things like worms, grubs, and insects. Their tunnels are very noticeably different from voles. They're raised, they leave mounds all over the place, and they really destroy the lawn by displacing all those grass roots when they tunnel. Now, it's easy to think that if you have tunnels all over your lawn that you have a mole infestation. However, typically only a few moles inhabit an entire tunnel system. According to data that I found online, 5 moles per acre of lawn is usually considered a large mole population. Now, because moles are meat eaters, the first thing that most people jump to when they see molehills in their yard or tunnels is that they have a grub issue. Now, sometimes this may be the case, but I'll tell you that it's not 100% of the time that you have a grub issue if you have moles. Now, I can tell you that my lawn does not have any grubs because I treat it in the springtime with imidacloprid as a preventative treatment. If you have questions about grubs or how to get rid of them, check out the video in the corner above that I did last season for more information. Now, in my personal experience, I think that my issue with moles is primarily caused by my neighbor's lawn. Now, they don't treat for grubs or treat their lawn. That said, by exploring the tunnel system, I found that the moles tend to burrow over into my lawn from the neighbor's lawn. They do some exploring around here in the first 10 or 15 feet of the lawn, and then they go back to where they came from once they don't find any food over here. Now, that said, that's great that they go back, but the damage is already done and they tear up the lawn pretty considerably by then. So you're probably asking, how do you get rid of moles? So I found 2 things in my experience over the last couple of years that I've had success with. The first thing that I've had success with is this mole trap. It's been very effective in my lawn. I picked this up on Amazon for about 40 bucks, and I've tried this type of trap and also the spike type of trap that you've probably seen online. And this is by far my favorite, mainly because it's easy to use and I've had great success with it. Now, I've seen many people online say that these traps don't work, but through doing research and from trial and error that I've had in the past, here's my suggestions on how to best use these traps to make them most effective. Now, make sure you keep your human scent off of it. Moles have a good sense of smell, so the more you keep your scent off of the mole trap, the better success that you're gonna have. Now, when this product was delivered, I used nitrile gloves and I give it a good wash down in the hose and let it dry off. Secondly, I would suggest that you study the tunnel system before setting the traps. You want to look for that main runway tunnel, not the exploratory tunnels that come off of the main runway. An easy way to do this for me to find the main tunnel is I go to my neighbor's lawn along the property line and I look for the tunnels that are coming over from that lawn. And those are the ones that I target. I don't go out into the lawn and target those exploratory tunnels. Now the main tunnel is going to be the tunnel that those moles use constantly back and forth and use each day. So you're going to have more success when you set your trap on that primary runway tunnel. Another good tip to use is to go out and step down on all those tunnels and compress them in the lawn on the first day, and then come back the next day and see which tunnels are up again that they've burrowed through. If you do that for a couple of days and figure out the ones that keep getting burrowed up, target that tunnel with the trap and you'll most likely catch the mole. Now how I usually do this is I take a little spade shovel, I pull out a little bit of the dirt, I grab my trap, I will, with my gloves on to make sure I keep that scent off of it, and then I install the trap into the tunnel system. Now the trick here is to get the trap armed at ground level so when they trigger it, it's deep enough to kill them. When they burrow up, they'll trigger that trap and the scissors will come in on them and kill them. Do not skip this step. Now I would say this is the one that I've had the most success with. Once I set the trap, I take a screwdriver a couple inches from each side of the trap and burrow an air hole into the tunnel on each side. Now through my research, I found that moles will sense this air opening in their tunnel and they will come to investigate to see what's going on, to try to repair it as well. When they come to check it out, they're going to trigger that trap and bam, you're going to win the war, you're going to kill off that mole. Now this method has been extremely successful for me. I've caught numerous moles over the past couple of years with this trap using this method. Now something that I've discovered recently and started using the last few months of this summer in tandem with the trapping method is a product called Scram that I picked up from Lawn and Pest Control Supply Company. If you want to learn more about that product, I'll have it linked down in the description below so you can check it out and read more about it. Now Scram is a granular product that does not include any poison. It basically consists of things like citronella oil, castor oil, garlic, and peanut hulls. It basically smells like a citronella candle when you open the bucket, a very strong citronella candle. So it smells pretty decent when you put it down on the lawn. And after everything's applied and watered in, you don't smell it at all once it gets down into the soil. Now this can be used as a preventative or a curative application, so make sure you're reading the instructions carefully before you apply it. I used this product at the 2 pounds per 1,000 square foot on the first application, and then 2 weeks later, I went back and hit the same area at a 1 pound per 1,000 square foot. Then every 30 days thereafter, I would do the maintenance application of 1 pound per 1,000 square foot. Now you do want to water this product in once you put it down to get it activated in the soil and begin the repelling process. Now I will say after using the Scram for the last few months, the mole activity has really reduced significantly in my backyard. I also haven't hit any of them with the traps anymore, and the tunneling has really cut off and they haven't really been coming over. So I will say that it's been successful back here, keeping them suppressed back off the property line and coming over into my lawn. Now I can say before I reseed or repair this area again, I'm going to try the Scram again next spring and summer and use it as a preventative starting early in the season to try to prevent them from coming over. And once they don't come over again, if this product works successfully, then I will reseed this area back here to ensure that I'm not wasting my time and money on seed and renovating again, since I just did it last year and now we have mold damage again back here again this summer. So if you're having issues with moles, I would suggest that you follow these steps, try the trapping method, follow the steps that I've used successfully here that I discussed earlier, and you're likely going to have much better success with those traps and getting those moles out of there. And also you can couple it with the Scram or any other mole type product. And if you really don't want to mess with any of it, there are companies, especially here in the local Fort Wayne area, that do take care of moles. I would suggest you just Google get rid of moles in my lawn, and there's companies that will handle it for you as well for a fee-based service. So it's not an end-all be-all. They may ruin your lawn. You may have to do some work to get rid of them and keep them down, but there are ways to mitigate moles in your lawn. Now, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, drop a question or comment below. I would love to hear from you, and please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future updates on the Voles Scram product that I plan to use next season and other content that I post to the channel. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time out in the lawn.